program coordinator for student life. So that means I kind of work on things outside of the classroom, orientation, and things like the newsletter. So I'm here if you have any questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and pass the intros to one of my colleagues.
Go. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Irina Adams. I'm the Director of Student Programs and Services. I work closely with Kelsey and Megan, who you will meet shortly, and look forward to seeing you all on campus soon. And I'll pass to Megan.
I'm afraid you're muted.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Maren Chen. I'm the Senior Program Coordinator for Academic Support. So I can help answer any academic related questions. And also we'll have an academic session tomorrow. So stay tuned and make sure you join the session for tomorrow as well.
And my name's Janet Chalicombe. I'm the administrative assistant of the office, and I help wherever is needed. And we look forward to having you come to campus.
Thank you all. So I do also want to mention our case ops or our orientation leaders. I know a lot of them are all are on the Zoom as well. You maybe have gotten a brief introduction to them from the newsletter, but if not, a few of them are popping on camera now. If you guys want to either come off mute and say hello or just turn your cameras on so everyone can see you, I think that would be great. Okay,
Hi,
awesome.
everyone.
So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Our first session, we are going to be talking about campus and campus life. So we have done introductions, and then we're going to do a little brief kind of intro, get y'all a little bit more familiar with the map and what campus looks like and kind of areas that are going to be important for you throughout your semester. Then we'll talk a little bit about housing, dining, some living essentials for your time in Durham, campus safety, and a brief note on arrivals and orientation. And then after this section, stay online because we'll have some of our campus partners join for Q&A. Okay. So a first note about our office. We're the Duke office of DKU Relations. So there's about 10 of us in the team, and our office is located in Page Auditorium. So if you're looking at the picture on the screen, we are on the left side of the chapel. In the red circle is our building, Page Auditorium, and we're on the second floor. We do work a hybrid schedule. So if you're looking for someone specific when you go to our office, make sure to reach out to them ahead of time, just so that you know they're there. Otherwise, there's typically going to be someone in the office pretty much every day. You've gotten to meet Janet, you'll see her, she's right at the front. But someone should be there pretty much any day if there's kind of a random question or need that you had. We are here for y'all. Okay, let's start looking at the map. So I want y'all to start getting familiar with our campus map. It may seem kind of large as we're looking at east, west, the medicine center. Over in the bottom corner, you can see athletics and some of the professional schools. It's not as big, not as far as things look. You're going to become very familiar with it very quickly. One of the most important parts of your orientation will be your campus tour with case ops. So they'll help you get oriented and familiar, and then we'll talk about different ways to get around campus pretty shortly. So let's take a greater look. Oh, I also want to mention the screenshot you see on this slide is from maps.duke.edu. Duke has a really great map system, so if you're looking for a building and you're unsure where it is, you're able to look it up It's also integrated into the Duke mobile app. So that's one of those mobile apps that we really encourage y'all to get on your phone just because it's so useful for coming on campus. It has like the bus locations, it has a campus map. So if there's a building you're unfamiliar with, you're always able to find it. So really want to encourage you to download that and look into it. Okay, let's take a closer look at East Campus. So East Campus, kind of in this map, most of the orange buildings are going to be residence halls, and the green buildings are going to be academic halls, as well as like the library, the marketplace, which is the dining hall on East Campus. So this semester, y'all are going to be living on West Campus, but you may still come to East Campus for classes, club meetings, going to the East Campus gym. So if you see on this map, the gray blue buildings are the campus gym is right here, Brody Recreation Center. There's tennis courts and pickleball courts if you're interested in that. And then I want to point out Lilly Library is under a major renovation. That's the East Campus Library. So it will be closed while y'all are here, but they do have kind of a satellite library on East Campus if y'all are looking for somewhere different to study or check out a book. And then East Campus Union, which is where kind of those red dots are, that's the dining hall on East Campus. So most of the time you probably won't go there because it is a little more expensive with the upperclassmen dining plans. It is an all you can eat. So if you're looking to really fill up, it can be a great option. And I also want to mention kind of towards the bottom of the map, Smith Warehouse. That is an important building. There are classrooms in there, lots of activities in there, as well as the Duke International Student Center or DISC. So that is a popular spot. We'll do some programming with DISC throughout the semester, but they have a lot of great events that you might want to check out and meet some new people at. And then if you ever need to go to Visa Services, their office is also in Smith Warehouse. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at West Campus. Oh, sorry guys. One more thing I want to mention about East Campus. East Campus is really close to Broad and Ninth Street. You'll see them on the left side of the map. These are homes to a couple different groceries, as well as Ninth Street has a ton of restaurants, has a couple coffee shops that are really popular. So I'm sure you guys will all head over there quite often. Um, Ninth Street has a few different restaurants that are really popular. One is like Alpaca, which is chicken and has kind of some sides. There's also the Hot Pot place is on Ninth Street. There's a ramen restaurant, um, a few different other restaurants as well, couple different sandwich places. I think there's a new restaurant that's opening soon. It's supposed to be like Himalayan and Indian food. So that should be good. So that should be opening sometime quite soon. So Ninth and Broad Street, we'll have some tours there during orientation and it'll be quite popular during your semester. Okay, now let's move and look at West Campus. You all will be living on West Campus during your semester. So let's look at the color coding again. Similar to the last map, green areas are going to be the more academic buildings or some of the buildings where you'll be hanging out, like Bryan Center, which is one of the student centers. And then orange buildings are different residence halls, so where a lot of y'all will be living. And then on this map, you see there's quite a lot of the blue-gray color. That's recreation, like the gym, which on West Campus is Wilson Recreation Center. And then also the basketball stadium, football stadium, all of that is in blue. So you'll see you're very close to it, easy walk. And then also in yellow on this map are medical center buildings. So that's just something to point out. You're very close to Duke Hospital and any medical offices there. So let's kind of orient ourselves on this map. Right in the center, you should see Duke Chapel. I mentioned our office is on the left of Duke Chapel when you're looking at it, and that's in Page Auditorium. And then if you're looking below Page Auditorium is Broadhead Center, or you may hear people call it WU. That used to stand for Western Union. But Broadhead is home to kind of the largest collection of restaurants and food places on West Campus, so it'll be quite popular for you to go to when you're hungry. They have mostly a la carte meals. We'll look at dining in a few minutes and talk about that more in general. And then if you look kind of to the upper left side of Broadhead, you'll see Bryan Center that has the McDonald's, mailboxes. Oops, sorry guys. Mailboxes, and then you'll see Penn Pavilion to that left. And then further left, you're going to see the Student Wellness Center, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay. Great. So let's talk about how you can get around campus and get around the area. So Duke does have campus buses. There's a couple different routes. There's one that'll go regularly between East and West Campus. It's called like the C1 bus. All the campus buses are free to ride. I want to encourage you, especially for the first few days of classes, if you need to take a bus to East Campus to get a class or to Smith Warehouse or something like that, you want to arrive kind of early because the buses do get very crowded at the beginning of the semester, just with everyone trying to learn their new class schedule and the timing. So just be aware of that. There's also a bus that'll go towards Swift. Swift is an area that's close to campus and has a few other apartments. Some of you could be assigned there. So there's a special bus route for Swift. And then I also want to mention Duke vans. You see it kind of in the second picture here. Duke has after hour vans on demand. So if you're studying late on East Campus and you don't want to walk back to West on your own, you can call for a Duke van to take you from East to West. They have like about a 5 mile radius from campus and will start in the evening and run. I think they ask for the last like request to be around 1:45 and they go till about 2 in the morning. So that's a great option if you're out later at night and want to ride home instead of walking home in the dark. And then city buses. So Duke works with local transportations to provide access to a Go Pass for free for students. So the Go Pass will let you onto local transit systems, including Durham buses. And then if you wanted to ride the bus to neighboring cities like Raleigh, Cary, those are all accessible by bus. And the Go Pass is available free from you. You just would use your Net ID, and you can do that through the Duke Transportation website. Other ways to get around town is Uber and Lyft, which are both ride-sharing apps, and then a traditional taxi as well. So I would recommend at least downloading one Uber or Lyft, just so you have that available. That way you're able to call for rides on demand. If you're working with friends or arriving with friends or during the semester you want to go somewhere, y'all can always split the cost on your own. There's Durham is small, but there are still places where you may want to get a car ride to versus walking. So you want to have options in between that. And then scooters. So you can see the scooters in the third picture. They've gotten quite popular on campus. So we like to mention if you're riding a scooter on campus, please be quite careful. They go faster than I think some people expect, and there can be a lot of traffic. So you want to make sure you're being safe while riding the scooters. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about housing. As I mentioned, you guys will all be living on West Campus this semester. Some of you could be placed in Swift with other upperclassmen. So those should either be coming out soon or you maybe have already received your housing assignment. West Campus has 8 different quads, which are kind of the neighborhoods for the residence halls. Each residence hall is unique. So the rooms will be different, the amenities will be different. They do all have a community kitchen. So if you're looking to cook during your semester, there will be a space for that. They have a shared fridge in those kitchens. They all have bathrooms, of course, separated by gender. They each have lounges, so study spaces throughout the dorms that you can use. And then some will even have different unique things. Like I know one has a nice massage chair. I think there's a virtual reality system in Eden's. I know a couple, I think one of the dorms has a yoga room. So this is a great opportunity to go visit your friends or your new friends from classes. You can study in the dorm and see what some of the different dorms are like and get a feel for just different spaces across West Campus. I do also want to mention each dorm has laundry, and this year laundry will be included in your student fees, so you won't need to pay extra for laundry while you're there. And then each dorm has a different residence life team, so everyone will have an RA. Normally, there's also like a residence coordinator for each building or area, and they help to plan residence life events throughout the semester. So that's a great way to meet people, do fun things, and get familiar with your dorm neighbors. And we also want to encourage you to make sure to get to know your roommate before you arrive. Y'all will be living together throughout the semester, and you want to make sure you get introduced and you have a great friend in your roommate. Also, be sure you're checking the packing list and bringing what you'll need. A lot of the dorms have communal bathrooms, so you may want some shower flip-flops. There is an option for if you wanted to buy a fridge. And then you want to make sure you're getting the right size bedding for your dorm. So that's all listed online that you have access to make sure you're looking it up and getting everything you need to be set up for the semester in perfect correctly. I do also want to mention with getting set up for the semester, we'll have 2 ways in orientation that we're going to try to help you guys get comfortable, get ready. We're partnering with other campus organizations to do kind of a devil's thrift house. So students from previous semesters have donated gently used items. There's some bedding, some towels, there's a lot of hangers, and a few other kind of random items that will be available for you all to pick up kind of on that first move-in day. And then we've also arranged for transportation to Target and Li Ming's, which is the local Asian grocery store. So if you need to buy anything to get settled or if you want some snacks kind of as you get started, we've arranged for transportation on the 20th just to kind of make sure y'all have everything you need to feel successful and comfortable during the semester. So thinking of snacking, let's talk about dining. Duke has pretty good dining. You'll see it's been ranked well across the nation. We have 2 main locations for dining. On West Campus, it'll be Broadhead Center, and that's what the picture on the bottom is. That's of Broadhead Center, or again, as I mentioned, you'll hear a lot of students call it Woo. And then on East Campus is Marketplace. That's what I mentioned as the all-you-can-eat buffet style. It'll be less popular for y'all since you're not living there, but it could be fun to check out if you have some extra dining points at the end of the semester. On your tour, you can ask case-ops for like where some of the other food options are because there are a few on West Campus. Some more hidden than others. We should be able to try Zwelly's during orientation, which is located in the Divinity School, kind of right next to the chapel. And there's also a couple options that are closer to some of the West Campus residence halls. The hours for each restaurant is located online. Some you'll start to know have pretty general hours. There are a few that stay open later. And then the Dine Out app, so that's kind of the picture on the upper side. That will be really important for you to get. It makes ordering food super convenient. You can do it on your phone and then just go pick it up and have it be ready. So I do want to encourage y'all to download that app as well. And then the Daily Double Deals. This is a great money conscious option, or if you're not quite as hungry. So pretty much every restaurant in Broadhead has a daily double deal. It's about $5 and it's a smaller portion, but it gives you a good deal on dining on campus. And then off campus, as I mentioned before, Ninth Street is really close and has a lot of dining options. And then from East Campus, you can ride the bus there and walk to downtown. It's quite close, like a little, around a mile, depending if you want to get right to the center of downtown. Durham has a really unique restaurant scene. There's lots of good restaurants and fun options if you want to go out downtown and try something new. It's it's great, you're close and you're convenient. As I mentioned, there's also kitchens in every dorm. So if you're craving something specific and you want to make it at home, you are able to do that. So that's great. You will select your dining plan when you're confirming your housing assignment. We typically encourage people to choose the lower plan. We hear feedback frequently that it's enough for students, and then you can always add more money onto your dining plan, or if you run out of money, you can pay for it by credit card. There's no financial benefit right now if you pay by credit card or use the dining plan. There's not a different price. So that's just something to keep in mind that you can always start lower and add more or pay as you go if you did run out. There's a great calculator that the Duke Dining releases each semester. We normally will share it in the newsletter kind of midway through the semester as a reminder of like checking in on where you should be. Okay, so your Duke card. Duke has gone all mobile for Duke cards. There's very few exceptions. There's a couple of labs on campus. And if you have a phone that doesn't work with the operating system, those are kind of the only times where Duke will use the physical card anymore. The Duke card is your access to campus. This is how you can get into your residence hall. You will pay for your dining. You can buy things in the stores. Your Flex account will help you with vending machines, all of those things. So if you have not already, your photo should be submitted and you should have received an email confirmation if it was accepted. If you are thinking, oh, I don't know that I've gotten that, after you get off of orientation later this evening, I want to encourage you to go double check if you've submitted it and received an acceptance, because you will want to have this set up once you arrive for classes. So Duke Card has done a great job providing detailed step-by-steps online for setting up the mobile card. I want to encourage you, make sure your phone is backed up and then up to date on software before you install it, and it should be a smooth process. And if any issues come up, you can let us know or reach out to Duke Card and they'll help move it through. So be sure you have your photo submitted and it has been accepted. Okay, campus mail. All students who live on campus are enrolled for a mailbox. Duke is getting closer to running out of mailboxes. So a lot of them are going to be virtual mailbox. So you should receive an email from Campus Mail quite soon. I think they've had kind of a slower rollout. They're switching some software. So you should be getting an email in the next few days with your virtual mailbox number. The only difference with a virtual mailbox is that you'll go to the counter to get any mail and packages. It's important that you kind of check on your mailbox regularly. If you sign up for a banking account in the US, they'll probably need an address and they'll probably mail you papers, or if you get like a debit card, they might mail it to you. So you do want to be sure you're checking on it regularly, not leaving packages too long. Some of the packages Duke Campus Mail has set up the package lockers, which you can see in the picture here. There's two different types of package lockers. There's the Duke Campus Mail package lockers, and they'll email you and tell you which locker it's in, how to pick it up. And there's also Amazon lockers. The Amazon lockers are quite convenient. On West Campus, you'll find them near Eden's and Cohane, one of the other dorms. You can order directly from Amazon and select for shipping. You'll select one of the lockers on campus. So that makes it super convenient for you to be able to go pick it up and receive it quickly. You will be able to start sending things to campus as soon as you have your mailbox number. So, as I mentioned, campus mail should be sending that out to you within the week. And then they'll let you know in that email, and also on Canvas, we have the Campus Mail Survival Guide. It'll show you how to address things. Anytime you send something to campus, do make sure to include your mailbox number. Duke receives thousands of packages a week at times, so there is a lot of mail coming in and out. You want to make sure it's addressed with your name and your mailbox number just to ensure that it gets to you quickly and as easily as possible. Be aware things that are overnighted will take a little bit longer to you because it is going through kind of a large mail system. Okay, so let's talk about recreation facilities. So, as I mentioned, Duke has two rec centers, two gyms, one on East Campus and one on West Campus. Brody is on East Campus and Wilson is on West Campus. They have a lot of similar equipment in them. You'll have different weight rooms, cardio equipment. And then I do want to point out in the West Campus gym in Wilson, that's where you're going to find the large climbing wall, which is a great option. Both gyms will have access to group fitness classes. I know those have been really popular. And then in Wilson, you also will have Red Mango, which is a kind of cafe. It has a lot of smoothies, I think a couple of light sandwiches, and it's a great snack option, or if you're feeling like you need to refuel after a workout. Something that's also a really great resource and could be very fun in the West Campus gym, they also have access to outdoor adventures. So if you ever want to go camping or hiking locally and you need to rent some equipment, you're able to do that from the gym in West Campus in Wilson. Or if you just need resources on like what's a good place to go to, they have information about it online. And they'll also host trips for students during the semester. So this can be a great opportunity if you're looking to get outside, get in nature. Sometimes they'll even go like a couple hours away. This is at an extra cost for students, but typically it's quite reasonable if you're looking to do a little local nature traveling. We'll share in the newsletter kind of as the schedules get live and when the signups get open. These trips are really popular, so they sell out quite quickly. And then while we're on this topic, I also want to talk about sports. You'll get access to games, stadiums. As a student, you'll have free tickets. It is a great opportunity to have some school spirit. Early in fall, there will be women's volleyball. There will also be football. And then towards the end of the semester will be the start of basketball. So you might have the opportunity to go to a basketball game before you leave as well. So it's a great opportunity to get out and see some sports in action. It's also fun sometimes to check out some of these smaller sports that you maybe aren't as familiar with. I think Duke has a really good fencing team as well. And there's a lot of intramural opportunities if you want to play some sports and not just watch. Okay, let's talk about wellness. So, the Student Wellness Center is kind of home to all things for your health and wellness. There's doctor offices there, there's a pharmacy, Duke Reach, and then CAPS, so counseling and psychological services are all there. There's also like physical therapy, a dental clinic, and then there's Do Well, which kind of is the home for all wellness services on campus. Throughout the semester, they put on great activities um, to kind of help center wellness, make sure you're feeling good, feeling healthy, ready for the semester. There's a lot of different popular ones. Um, there's yoga regularly, knitting. They used to do, well, I think they still do a tea tasting session, a lot of creative workshops just to kind of help give you an outlet and a space to get familiar with these, feel comfortable, get relaxed. So if you ever need a doctor while you're on campus, making an appointment is fairly easy. You can call or make it online sometimes and visit. They're open kind of 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, as well as the pharmacy. The pharmacy also will have a lot of over-the-counter medications if you need something. They'll have some vitamins, even some things like toothpaste, shampoo, those kind of things you can all find at the pharmacy. We do want to encourage you, like Duke Reach and CAPS kind of go hand in hand. Both of these offices are here for your mental health. You're able to make a CAPS appointment online. Um, I want to encourage you, don't ever be afraid to reach out for help or talk to someone. Sometimes it can be intimidating, but feel free if you ever need help, you can ask a case op or one of our staff members if you need help making an appointment or finding it. We're here, they're here for you, whatever you need. We're really lucky to have great wellness programming at Duke. So I want to encourage you to try one of the workshops, maybe meditation or yoga, or if you like creative writing, they sometimes will do writing workshops. It's a great space that has regular events for you all. So, campus safety. On Canvas, you'll find an important contact list. If you're using your phone at home or once you get a US phone number or a US phone, whichever you're doing, we want to encourage you to save numbers from the contact list. That way, you always have them ready to go. And if you're ever unsure of who to reach out to, you can email Doter. We're here for you. And then for emergencies, there's 911 or Duke Police. Duke police officers are very friendly, very helpful. So you definitely want to make sure to save their number. They're here to support you and are willing to go above and beyond for you. For campus safety, there's also the Duke alert messages. These will happen if there's any weather events or any safety updates that need to be made campus wide. So once you have a US phone number, you want to be sure to update it online as soon as possible. That way, you're enrolled in the Duke alert system and will receive any messages. And then lastly, I want to talk about for campus safety is the Live Safe app. It's a great app. One of the features that's really popular is the safe walking. If you're walking by yourself at night and want to feel like you're not so alone, they have a live walk feature so you can talk to someone throughout your walk home. And that way you're not alone. Okay. So next, I kind of want to remind everyone about Canvas. I know a lot of you have already signed up and gotten to spend some time on there. Once you're in our Canvas site, we have a few different modules. So we have academic reminders, important pre-arrival information, reminders if you're on a visa. If you are interested in working on campus, there's a video there that'll help you. Thriving at Duke, we talked about in the last newsletter. It's a great resource from DKU at Duke alums. So you can hear straight from other students on tips they would have wanted for the first couple of weeks, classes, local restaurants, the useful apps and technology. And then below that, there's also a module that has kind of the health insurance bureau or pamphlets, like the information. So all of that is on Canvas. So we really want to encourage you to spend some time there, get familiar. The pre-arrival info has your pre-arrival checklist, so you can kind of check back in there, make sure you've done all your tasks. And then it also has arrival information if you're coming in early or if you get in late after check-in. It has hotels as well as links to a packing list. So all of that you can find in Canvas, and it's a great resource. We also have move-in dates. So you all will move in Wednesday, August 20th. You'll get details from Housing and Residence Life as we get closer to that. So please pay attention. We really hope you arrive by this date so that way you're able to participate fully in orientation. On-campus orientation is going to take place August 21st, 22nd, and then we'll have a couple weekend activities as well. So you'll get details on orientation from our office as well as from the case ops. If you are trying to arrive before August 20th, it may be possible. You will be charged from on your room from before the 20th, so just keep that in mind. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about orientation. During orientation, you will be in different pods. This year, our pods will have a focus on one of four items. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you to a quick Qualtrics survey where you'll be able to rank your pod preferences. So we have four different pods. We have Arts at Duke. So if you're interested in anything on the art side, creating, performing, I would recommend you to preference this pod. They'll go by the arts annex, learn about different performance groups, practice areas, art galleries on campus. Also great if you just enjoy listening to the arts. And then the next group is wellness and recreation. Get a little more information on wellness programming, also more details on the recreation centers. Our next pod focus will be traditions and campus spirit. So learn a little bit more about Duke's history and traditions on campus and some fun history that makes Duke unique. And then lastly, research at Duke. So get a little more info on the academic side, explore the libraries in more detail, research at Duke, visit the collab, and learn about creating and bringing your ideas to life. So I would encourage you to scan the QR code now, visit the survey. It should be very quick, your name, your net ID, and then you'll rank your pod preferences. So we'll share this again tomorrow as well, but we want to encourage you to go for it now. And then if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the chat. And then in just a few minutes, we'll get started with our campus Q&A. Some of our campus partners are joining now, and they'll be here to answer your questions directly. Okay, we have some of our campus partners here. We'll get started on the campus Q&A in just a few minutes, and then I'll add the link for orientation pods in the chat if you weren't able to scan it while I was up.